Hello, fellow nerds. It's time once again for some nerd time with Tim Gwaine. Today's topic is the precession of the Equinoxes and the Great Year. I put them together in this video because the basics of each correlate with the other. The Great Year is measured by the precession. You'll see as we go along. To begin with, if you look at the 12 major zodiac constellations as a clock, this will be easier. Frankly, it seems that the constellations are indeed in a formation much like a clock. There is one smaller constellation, Ophiuchus, that is in there. In fact, it is one that many astrologers have attempted over the years to add to the zodiac. There's a story there. That's for another video. I digress. The sun travels the circle in an orbit much like the minute hand on a clock, moving from age to age. Each age is about 30 degrees, and every 72 years the sun travels 1 degree into the age. The time spent in each age is approximately 2,160 years. As you can see by this diagram, the sun travels in a clockwise motion, and Earth orbits the sun in a counterclockwise orbit. Thus, it seems the zodiac moves for us in the pattern of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, etc. The sun moves exactly opposite of our perspective: Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, etc. This representation, of course, isn't to scale for sure. It's meant, honestly, to simply show what happens. In the precession, we have been in the age of Pisces for around 2,000 years. Fun fact. It is a common fact among scientists, astronomers, and astrologers that each age lasts 2,160 years. That's a given. However, the time an age begins or ends is pretty much up for debate. Does the age end when the sun is in that limbo space between, or does it begin only when it is within the constellation itself? For instance, we are somewhere in the end of Pisces, and there's much debate about when Pisces actually began, however. The age of Pisces could have begun anywhere from 150 BCE to 500 CE. It could have ended, some say, between 1979 and now, or we could still be in it until 2660. To be honest, I could not tell you why some suspect 1979. Frankly, I think it was only one crackpot joker whose child was born that year, or something with the sun in Aquarius around late January or early February. Personally, it would not surprise me in the least to find that we are currently in the age of Aquarius since December 21st, 2012, the date the Mayan calendar ended. My thought is that the calendar ended because that was the end of the last age it showed. We call it the age of Pisces. Just like December 31st is the last of our yearly calendar. However, it could be that the Mayan calendar went by the autumnal equinox, and we are in the autumnal age of Leo. But more on that stuff later. At any rate, the point is that currently we are in a position that One of many things could be true. We are at the tail end of the age of Pisces and are very close to the dawn of the age of Aquarius, or we are in the age of Aquarius. We are in that in-between place of the ages. Wherever we are traveling with our star around a galactic clock that takes around 24,000 years to circumnavigate. And the marking of time is based on where the sun is within that galactic wheel. Plato called it the Great Year, the 24,000 cycle from, say, Cancer to Cancer. The sun traverses the galactic sky through the constellations. There are 4 major ages through which we move. The Greeks divided the year, the Great Year, with metallic designations: golden, silver, bronze, and iron. Since it is a cycle, it is divided into descending and ascending. I'll discuss more on that in a moment. The Vedic Indian cycle divides the Great Year into yugas, eras: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Para Yuga, and Kali Yuga. They correspond with the Greek metallic ages, using the same pattern of descending and ascending. Most use the vernal equinox to determine the age. According to the vernal equinoxes, we are heading into the age of Aquarius, out from the age of Pisces. We are about to embark on a 2,160-year trek through the age of Aquarius, after spending 2,160 years in Pisces. Also, according to the determination of the Vedic timeline, we are at 7 o'clock, approximately 360 years into the ascending Bronze Age. More on that later. The Golden Age incorporated many of the ages at once. According to the vernal equinoxes, I'll stress on vernal in a bit, the Golden Age held the ages of Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo, and Cancer. We will now take a look at the descending ages. The descending Golden Age, or Satya Yuga, lasted 4,800 years. The Golden Age is described as the age of the gods. Basically, humanity was virtually so in touch with the world and the universe around them that their knowledge and wisdom were almost what we would consider godlike. I liken it to the mythos of the Old Testament and other creation myths in which there was paradise enjoyed by humanity. Many of our greatest wonders very easily could have come from this time, 12,000 to 16,000 years ago. It is believed that such sites as the pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, the Ziggurats of Mesopotamia and South America, even the seeming landing strips around the world, were built around this age. This would be the time of Atlantis and other mythical, thriving civilizations around the world. The Golden Age correlates to many stories worldwide of the gods and their seeming control over the elements, others, even flight and long-distance communications. However, the Golden Age was drawing to a close toward the Age of Gemini and the beginning of the Silver Age, or Petra Yuga. We know that, according to scientists, there was a global catastrophe around 10,000 years ago. Polar ice caps melted quickly, destroying the coastlines of most of our continents. The civilizations destroyed on the coastlines were more than likely the catalyst for the universal flood myths from Gilgamesh to Noah and even the Chinese and other Asian flood stories. The catastrophe at the end of the Golden Age and the beginning of the Silver Age could also be the very one that destroyed Atlantis. The Richat Structure in Mauritania could be the lost city of Atlantis. It holds every aspect of the description given by Plato and other ancient historians. Also, if one looks at the west coast of Africa from above to the interior where the Richat Structure lay, one can see the very real possibility of a sudden and major wave that could have easily overtaken the city. I have a link below for a cool video that talks about this. The descending Silver Age, or the Treta Yuga, is known as the Age of Heroes, or the Age of the Demigods. These would be the Nephilim, or Hercules, Perseus, Bacchus, Abraham and Isaac, Joseph, and others. It begins about the time the sun moves from the Age of Cancer into the Age of Gemini, the twins. The heroes and archetypes of the Age of Gemini would be Adam and Eve, for she was taken from his rib and made his twin and left paradise. Cain and Abel, although not necessarily twins, are very much Gemini. Others are Castor and Pollux, Romulus and Remus, Jacob and Esau. They were the personifications of the Age of Gemini. The descending Silver Age began the quick slide away from the awakened humanity of the Golden Age. It lasted 3,600 years. The Age of Gemini ended toward the end of the Silver Age, and the Age of Taurus was ushered into through the Great Year and the precession of the Equinoxes. The Age of Taurus saw the rise of many bull cults in Assyria, Egypt, and Crete. It also led to a further decline of humanity away from the awakened masses of the Golden Age. It led us into the descending Bronze Age, or Para Yuga, which lasted 2,400 years. The Sumerians had been gone or disempowered for some time. The Egyptians, the Mayans, and the Persians were growing in strength, but were also soon to be lost in the next epoch to come. The Bronze Age lost much of the retained knowledge from the previous ages. The further from the Golden Age and the deglaciation of the world that wiped out most of the sophisticated and modern civilizations, the less knowledge we had about the surrounding world. Soon, within the beginning of the Bronze Age, the Age of Aries began. The Age of Aries has many archetypes. They who slew the bull to bring in the ram. Figures like Theseus, who slew the Minotaur, Mithras, who slew the mighty bull. If you notice, both of these have the same position of their legs, if you look at them. And also, there is Moses, who stepped down from the mountain and destroyed the golden calf around which the Israelites were dancing and whom they worshiped. The symbolism of the shofar, the ram's horn, ushered in the Age of Aries, closing out the Age of Taurus. The worship of the bull was replaced by the sacrifice of the lamb. For heroes of the Age of Aries were, of course, those I mentioned, but also Joshua, Samson, David. Even the burning bush represents the Age of Fire, war, and the ram. It was a time that is marked by struggle replaced polytheism with monotheism. The Egyptian dynasties fell, Persian and Greek cultures waned to almost nothing as the Roman Empire took charge in the middle of the Bronze Age. As the Bronze Age was closing, the Age of Aries also ended, and we moved into the Age of Pisces. There is typically only one major hero that I can think of from the Age of Pisces, and that is Jesus Christ. The figure was the final sacrifice, the Lamb of God, who fulfilled the Age of Aries. He called fishermen. He fed thousands with a few fish and loaves of bread. Quick side note, the autumnal equinox of Pisces is Virgo, who holds a sheaf of wheat, and Virgo's house is called the house of bread. In Hebrew, that's Bethlehem. Anyway, I'll discuss more on that much later. The main point is that the Age of Aries also ushered in the descending Iron Age, or Kali Yuga. The Iron Age is 1,200 years long and is most notable as being the time of materialism. Humanity was more focused on gross matter and centered on the material plane. The three Abrahamic faiths should be an indication that the Age of Pisces is about monotheism, spirituality, and, of course, fish. As with the Age of Aries, it is also about law. But the law is not written on stone tablets. It is burned into the minds of humanity. It is forced. The descending Iron Age took us into the darkest times in our history. Plagues, the Inquisitions, the burning times, and the famines. We had forgotten most of what we knew in the past three epochs. We became theocratic agrarians, leaving behind many of the old ways and becoming less educated. Our minds atrophied. Our civilizations became empires with caste systems that were unbreakable, until the time came for the slow upswing into the ascending Iron Age. But I'm going to stop right here and pick up from this point in my next video, when I will be discussing the ascending yugas and metallic ages. As usual, thank you for coming by, stopping, and watching this video. If you like what you're seeing, if you like the content that I'm creating right now, please hit that like button below, and also, if you want to, go ahead and push the subscribe button as well. I would love to see more subscribers to my channel. For now, though, I hope you have a good day, and let's stay nerdy.